And then, of course, the last letter is a very famous letter that everyone's heard of, but you may not be very familiar with the symbol of it, though. Even though you've heard it a lot, omega, you probably don't know the symbol. Basically, is like a rounded W, okay? So the lowercase omega is like a rounded W. So there you go. That's all the letters. So now I'm going to write them all out in a row, and I'm going to teach you how to remember the order that they come in, okay? So first of all, I'm going to write out the first 5 because I like to memorize these in groups, okay? And it's easier to learn that way if you break down the 24 letters into smaller groups. So first of all, let's just do the first 5, okay? Which are alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon. Now the reason I like to group these 5 together is because these resemble the A, the B, and then if you skip gamma, the D and the E of the English alphabet. So these 5 don't really look that different from the first 5 letters of the English alphabet. So it's pretty easy to get your bearings and to remember these 5. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon. So I would just learn those 5 and just memorize those 5. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon. Okay? Then once you get those 5 down, I like to group the next 3 into a group. Okay? And if you remember, the next 3 are going to be zeta, eta, and theta. Now you can probably guess why I like to group these 3, but it's because they rhyme. So if I can remember alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, and then I have the 3 that rhyme. Zeta, eta, theta. All right? So that's pretty easy to remember, right? Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta. And then after theta, I like to think of the next 3 as a group also, which are iota, kappa, and lambda. All right? And the reason I group iota, kappa, and lambda is because they're similar to English letters I, K, and L. Our alphabet goes I, J, K, L. So just forget the J and you've got iota, kappa, lambda. So alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta is a nice little triplet. Then you've got iota, kappa, lambda. And then the next group that I like to do is mi, ni, xi, omicron, P. And again, this makes a nice little rhyme when you do this. Mi, ni, xi, omicron, P. Mi, ni, xi, omicron, P. So you can use that rhyme to learn these 5 as a little group. Mi, ni, xi, omicron, P. And then after P, of course, we have an R sound is what we're looking for. So the next group I like to remember is rho, sigma, tau, epsilon. And the reason I like these 4 together like this is because in English it goes R-S-T-U, right? And the epsilon, even though it makes an E sound, it looks a lot like a U when you write it out. So it's pretty easy to remember the order here. R-S-T-U in English, rho, sigma, tau, epsilon, okay? So that's the next 4. Then I like to do a triplet of the 3 kind of strange letters in Greek, the 3 that are probably the most unfamiliar to us. I like to put them together because they all rhyme as well. And if you remember those, they are phi, he, psi, all right? And then, of course, omega, you're not going to forget that because it's the last letter. Jesus said, I'm Alpha and Omega. It's pretty easy to remember omega as being the last letter, okay? So again, remember how we have these grouped. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon. Those 5 are easy to remember. They're similar to the first 5 English letters. Then we got our triple here, zeta, eta, theta. And then we've got iota, kappa, lambda. Then another nice rhyme of these 5, mi, ni, xi, omicron, P. Then we have the next group of 4, rho, sigma, tau, epsilon. Then we have the 3 kind of strange symbols, which are phi, he, and psi. And then we have omega, all right? So I would recommend you memorizing the Greek alphabet if you have any interest in learning Greek, because this is where it all begins. You know, you have to learn how to pronounce these letters, And once you learn how to pronounce these letters, you're going to be able to read the Greek language. Whereas if you don't learn the alphabet, I mean, you're going to look at it and it's going to look like complete gibberish to you. You're not going to know what you're looking for. And I would recommend memorizing it in these groups. So maybe today your goal could be to just learn these 5. And then maybe the next day you could try to learn the 3, and then the next day learn 3 more. And if it's hard for you, you can do it over the course of like a week like that. Otherwise, if you want to be ambitious about it, you might as well just learn the whole thing in one day. It's definitely possible, okay? Now, before I end the video, learning the alphabet is gotten you about 90% of the way to being able to read Greek Bible or read anything that you want in Greek as far as just pronouncing the words. Obviously, you don't know what the words mean, but at least this will help you be able to pronounce the words. So the next step is going to be to learn a few letter combinations. Now, I'm not going to sit here and teach you every combination of letters that could possibly occur in Greek that has a unique sound. You know, the best way to learn how to pronounce stuff is to get a Greek New Testament and audio version. Also, just to get a Greek learning course. Like, for example, Pimsleur does a Greek audio learning course that's really good. And it's all audio, so it's all done just by listening. So that's going to help you pronounce things the best, is obviously just learning to listen to native speakers. A native speaker reading the Greek Bible, or a native speaker teaching you through the Pimsleur course. That's going to give you all the nuances and all the different tricky things, rather than trying to memorize a bunch of rules, in my opinion. But there are a few basic letter combinations that you need in addition to knowing the Greek alphabet if you're going to be able to read Greek, okay? So let me show you these diphthongs, or combinations of 2 vowels that you're going to need to know. First of all, there's a group of them that ends in iota, okay? So first of all, we've got alpha, iota, okay? And then we've got epsilon, iota. Then we've got omicron, iota. And then we've got epsilon, iota, all right? So we've got these combinations right here. Now here's the good news. All 3 of these make the same sound, and they basically make an E sound. And then this one right here, the alpha iota, makes the sound of epsilon, okay? So when we come across alpha iota, that combination of 2 letters, you know, looks like an A and an I, that's going to be pronounced A or E, like epsilon, okay? So that's pretty easy. And then just remember, anything else other than the alpha iota, anything else ending in iota, just pronounce it like a iota. So this is E, this is E, this is E. All of it's E, okay? And again, we're using modern pronunciation, okay? So that's these diphthongs here that end in E. Now, another couple of diphthongs that you need to learn is basically alpha, epsilon, and epsilon, epsilon, okay? These are a little bit tricky because the alpha epsilon is basically pronounced like av or off, okay? So when we come to this, we're either going to pronounce it av or off, and then this one is going to be ev or f, all right? So we got ev or f, all right? So these 2 are a little tricky. So in addition to memorizing the 24 letters, in addition to memorizing those 4 other diphthongs that end in iota, you need to learn this is av or off, and this is ev or f, okay? And then there's one more that's pretty important. And again, I'm not teaching you everything, but I'm teaching you like 99% of what you need. The rest of it you can just pick up as you go, in my opinion. The other one that you're going to need is just this one right here, which is the omicron epsilon, and that's just pronounced oo, oo. That makes your oo sound, okay? So basically, it's not a whole lot of diphthongs that you have to learn in Greek. Basically this one, what's this one say again? A or E, it's just like an epsilon. Whenever you see this, just think of it as epsilon. And then of course, we've got the triplicate here. All 3 of these make the same E sound, E, E, E. And if you remember, this makes E, this makes E, and this makes E. So basically you have 6 different vowel and vowel combinations that all make the E sound. So here's a tip. When you're reading in Greek, if you don't know what sound something makes, just if you guess E, well, you're probably right. That's the most common sound, okay? So those all say E. And then you've got your two here, of, off, or ev, F, all right? And then you've got this one that says oo. And that's it. So if you've learned the whole Greek alphabet, and if you've learned all those diphthongs, you're pretty much ready to read Greek. And the great thing about reading the Greek New Testament is that it has these accent marks. So it makes it really easy to know where to put the accent on which syllable. And we'll talk more about that later.